All right, guys. So let's just be real. We all know that the media does very, very biased reporting. But in this video, we have Bill Maher basically calling them out on that, right? It's been a while since somebody has just called them out just on a grand level, on a grand scale. Do I think this is going to do much of anything? Probably not, right? Just going to be honest with you, probably not. But it's a start. It's definitely a start. And then Bill Maher is not a nobody, right? So hopefully it sets off a chain reaction to get a lot of these media companies to, it's okay to have your opinion for sure, but again, if you're going to say, look, we're a media company, we put out news, we promote news, then just do that, right? Then just do that, because let's just be honest, that's why we watch. We don't watch to hear your opinion, we watch to see what the news is. Right? So guys, that's pretty much my opinion, but we get right into it. We got Bill Maher. Let's rock.
Nice. No one across the political spectrum is safe from the acid wit of Bill Maher, the comedian and host of Real Time on HBO. On recent episodes of his show, he has brought his sharp analysis to big issues in the news, such as the presidential election and college campus protests. I wanted to talk to him about all that and more. He has a new book called What This Comedian Said Will Shock You. And I should note that HBO and CNN share the same parent company, Warner Brothers Discovery. Bill Maher, pleasure to have you on.
Always great to see you.
So in the middle of your book, you write, some people think I've changed. I assure you I have not. I'm still the same unmarried, childless, pot-smoking libertine I always was. I have many flaws, but you can't accuse me of maturing.
Now, that sounds like a really funny, good book.
So I want to put to you, because I know you like listening to disagreement, people who say to me, and there are many who say, I loved Bill Maher, but he has matured too much. He's become cranky. He's become crotchety. He's become one of those old guys who says,
Really?
The kids are crazy. It was better in my day. What do you say to them?
They're wrong. I mean, they're wrong, and the kids are crazy. It's interesting. They have this idea, the younger generation, maybe every generation does, that just because something is new makes it better. And that's not true. New is not synonymous with better.
But you're sounding like an old-fashioned conservative.
Okay. I heard a couple of people say, or maybe they wrote it online, that, well, I'm a hypocrite because you were for the demonstrators in 1968 or whatever it was when they were demonstrating against the Vietnam War. Yeah, that was very different. First of all, the students weren't against their own. These students were threatening other students. That didn't happen in the Vietnam War. And being against the Vietnam War made sense. It was a war that we probably should not have been in.
But let me ask you,
this is demonstrating and protesting for a terrorist group. I mean, Hamas is.
Well, to be fair, a lot of students aren't doing that. There are a lot of outside, people have mixed together what students are doing, what outside protesters are doing. But let me ask you a broader question, which is, a lot of people will say, look, this is how you get change. It's noisy. Some people say the wrong thing. Some people go too far. But the whole tradition of this kind of expansion of rights, it's messy, it's chaotic. There's probably a bunch of excess, as there probably was in the 60s. There was the Black Panthers and the Weathermen and things like that. But they think of you as somebody who was, you were okay with all that, but you've turned.
I haven't turned. Yes, people have said to me, you make fun of the left more than you used to. And guilty, I have, because the left has changed. Now, the right has changed also, and even worse. I mean, the right doesn't believe in democracy anymore. I mean...
That's false. That is false. So, Bill, I'm going to have to correct you on that. But what I will agree with is when he talks about the change overall. Like, yes, 100%, during the election and even a little bit before that, we were seeing a shift for sure, right? But that's because you're going to battle. When you're getting ready to battle, you got to be ready. That doesn't mean, you go off the deep end, but you gotta come correct. Otherwise, you're going to lose every single time. And in my opinion, that obviously even people on the left tell you the people on the left took it way too far. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not really just me. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. But I agree with most of what he's saying. I can tell you that.
They've thrown their lot in with this sociopath named Donald Trump, who only thinks elections count when we win. Okay, well, that's worse. But it's not like the left hasn't changed also. So I'm going to call it out wherever I see it. I mean, there are things that have to do with, gender and race and free speech and just ideas about, you can be healthy at any weight, and gender is always a social construct, and maybe we should give communism another try, and maybe we should get rid of capitalism and the border patrol, and let's tear down statues of Lincoln and get rid of the police. Just, no. It's not that I've gotten old, it's that your ideas are stupid. Okay?
Common sense is still common sense.
Yes, common sense is common sense, and I'm going to call it out wherever it is on the spectrum.
Let me ask you about a related thing that you've written about and talked about, which I find very interesting. You think that men in particular have lost young men have lost the ability to communicate, to date, to know how to court women?
Yes, I think this is going to be a very big problem. I think young men thought it was a great thing when Tinder came along. Oh my gosh, look, I don't even have to talk to a girl. It's all right here on my phone. I can just scroll through like it's a menu, like I'm ordering from Grubhub. But the truth is that Tinder is mostly men. It's like 2/3 of men who are on the site, so that's not good odds if you're a man. And then most women on it say they will swipe left on anyone who's not 6 feet tall, which would leave us out. So what is the upshot of this going to be? My guess would be a lot of horny, frustrated, angry Trump voters, is I'm guessing.
You know what I'm saying? He's on a roll, and then he nah. So I actually do agree. I do agree with the Tinder stuff, and the dating scene in general is just a mess. And to be quite honest with you, it's funny because I was just watching a video that talks about the declining birth rate. Maybe I'll react to that one of these days. Let me know if you guys want me to down in the comment section below. But it was just an eye-opening video showing, the baby boomers. And then, obviously when social media came out, just the big decline. And you think social media, maybe, we'll be more social, we'll get together. But actually, no, that's not the case. More option is not always better, right? Now you turn on go on Instagram, you turn on your phone and you see the prettiest women in the world. If you DM, you're probably not going to get a response. Let's just be honest. Just be honest. Okay. Just be honest. You're probably not going to get a response. Okay. So, but it's all good. I do agree with him 100%. I mean, just not in terms of dating, just in terms of interaction, one-on-one interaction. We're just having a lot less of that. Also, I think the cough as well had a lot to do with that, right? COVID had a lot to do with people not, it was already going that way, but it made it like 10 times worse, right? This is my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Back to the video.
Where these guys are going to go. They already have this group called incels. Have you heard of that? Incel stands for involuntarily celibate. And they're very angry and very vocal, and I don't blame them. I remember when I was an incel, but, we didn't have a word for it. Women have not changed that much. I know if you look in the media, it looks like we're all fluid and gay and trans and on the spectrum and non-binary, but I don't know. The Bachelor is still on. I just don't think women have changed that much, and they're communicative creatures. You have to talk to them, and I think men are losing that ability. I think they just think they can send a text of an eggplant emoji and write "what's up," and they're going to be home free. No, you have to court. Yes, you have to do some courting. Women have not changed in that regard.
A lot about how the left has gone crazy, but to be fair to you, you've always also pointed out the right has gone even crazier, embracing Trump. I want to ask you why you think it happened, because this was the party of Ronald Reagan: free markets, free trade, loved immigration, very optimistic. What do you think made it, it's now dour, pessimistic, the American...
Hold on, guys. I'm getting a call. Hold on, guys. Hello? Hey, Becky. You're coming over at 5? All right, cool. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what this guy's talking about, but Becky's coming over at 5. So back to the video. I'm just joking, obviously, right? Back to the video.
It's American carnage.
Well, I think the basis of it is we started to hate each other. I mean, you mentioned Ronald Reagan. Famously, he used to have a drink at the end of the day, often with Tip O'Neill, who was the leader in the House and the Democrat. But they were just two Irish pals who could get together and have a scotch at the end of the day. And they knew they weren't going to get along on many issues, but they didn't hate each other. They could drink together. That is inconceivable today. Can you imagine Joe Biden having a drink with Mike Johnson? It just would never happen. When you hate people, you don't listen to them. So it doesn't matter how reasonable they might be. We have reached this place where each side thinks the other side is an existential threat. You hear that term from both sides all the time. That is just a terrible place to be, because we find ourselves in this situation where both sides are literally siding with enemies of America rather than the opposition party within the country. I mean, you see Republican MAGA people with T-shirts that say, "I'd rather be with Russia than Democrats." I mean, Trump stood with Putin against our intelligence agencies. Fox News literally uses Russian talking points. I mean, Tucker Carlson went over there and did the whole dog and pony show, backing up Putin, basically. And on the left, you see them marching for Hamas, a terrorist organization. This is a terrible place to be, and it can happen here. The last chapter in the book is called Civil War, and you know, you hear more about it all the time.
All right, I'm kind of conflicted about what he just said. A part of me definitely agrees with it, and I understand it 100%. But I mean, Tucker, first of all, Tucker got the opportunity to go over there. Glad he took it. And actually, Lex Friedman is getting ready to go over there as well, if he's not already over there in Russia doing an interview with Putin. So these are people that, if he used anybody else, but you know, Tucker and Lex, and they would interview anybody that has a different idea. They're not there to side with the person, right? So I actually disagree what he said there, but I agree with the concept of, yes, you do have people that would rather side with another country. Absolutely, which is actually messed up. So I do agree with that part of it. I just think the examples he used are not valid, because those gentlemen there are stand-up people. I don't know them personally, but from what I see online and doing their YouTube channel and just consuming a lot of content, that I highly doubt that they went over there for the reason that he's saying. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section below. Back to the video.
People who are actually pining for it. Civil war, come on, let's do this thing. Let's get this going. Let's have this national divorce. It can't work. It won't work. Half the country is not going to self-deport, even if you win every election.
So what should, I mean, somebody like Obama came in trying to be the unifier.
Right.
I remember he famously would invite the then speaker, John Boehner, to White House screenings.
Right.
Boehner went to a couple, got so much shit for it, never went back. Biden has tried, you know, to reach out. What's the strategy that might work?
Apparently not that. I mean, I think we're past that. I don't know what it is. I mean, I think this goes back to the Supreme Court fights that we had, like in the, was it late 80s or early 90s? This goes back a long way, so it's going to take a long way to get back to some sort of normalcy. I don't know. Sometimes you have to hit bottom before you can go back to the top. I don't know what that means in this country, but I know one thing: Donald Trump is not going to concede the election. So what happens in January 2025 on the 20th, when Inauguration Day rolls around and he didn't win the election? He's not just going to go away. And if he wins and he's the president in January 20th, 2025, he's never going to give that up, because he doesn't understand the Constitution. He doesn't care about it. I don't think he's ever read it. He just knows power and winning. And
I'm going to have to push back there too. I'm pushing back a lot on this thing. I'm sorry. I just got to, right? In fact, that is false. Trump literally is always reciting different parts of the Constitution. I think literally in almost all of his speeches, he does the same thing, right? So that's actually false. That's extremely false. In fact, it's the opposite, actually. He talks about our amendment rights literally all the time. So that is false. Okay. So, but what I will say is I understand where Bill's coming from. You know what I mean? I'm not, most of what he's saying is correct. The examples he's using, he's off the mark, though. That's the only problem. But most of what he's saying, I agree with. 100%. I do agree with that we need unity. I agree that we should not be siding with other countries going that far over our own. I think that is ridiculous. No matter how ridiculous people on the left may be, I do think that's come on now. I do think that's ridiculous. Okay, so I do agree with that part of it, and that is pretty much it. Okay, so guys, let me know what your opinions are. That is my personal opinion. You guys probably may disagree with me. It's possible, right? But it is what it is in terms of that stuff. And I do think we're moving in a positive direction. I am very optimistic with where we're getting ready to go and where we are headed. Yes, there is a good amount of turmoil that happened in 2024, but 2025 is a new year, and I'm just looking forward to it. Let me know if you guys are doing the same. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you slap the like button and kick the subscribe button for more. Until next time, peace out.